Alright, so we're gonna see how that goes. I noticed that the capture card, as I've been fucking with it, is extremely hot. It's way hotter than a pretty much a passive device should be, so I went and grabbed a little fan and am pretty much blowing the fan directly onto the capture card. And that appears to have fixed the issue. I'm just checking my map at the moment. What is that? What is the meaning of that icon? Oh. Wait. They should be identical. Yeah. Okay. The map is just stupid. So yeah, Horror Fanatic, just let me know when you're back, and I will continue carrying on about the Wind Waker. I put a fan directly onto the capture card, and that seems to have fixed the issue. I mean, I haven't had any video cut out for several minutes, so wonderful cat. I'm so glad you can be part of this. So yeah, the Wind Waker was largely criticized when it was released, but I mean, that's not new for Zelda games. When they release, they do get criticized because they're different. And Wind Waker's graphics took the brunt of it. But it was actually quite beautiful, even for GameCube. Yeah, and now Rainbow's in my lap, so I'm just sort of swarmed by cats at the moment. They know I'm doing a thing and they want to be part of it. So Wind Waker released, it was beautiful, but a lot of people hated it because of its cartoony graphics. But when they made it, they did 4K resolutions for all of the models and stuff, so that got me turned around about which door I'm trying to go through. So upgrading it to an HD version, because the GameCube, even with the very difficult to get progressive cable, it only did 480p. Well, the Wii U does 1080p. So when it came time to upgrade Zelda games, because Breath of the Wild was taking forever. No, don't. Okay. Wind Waker was the obvious choice. They eventually did Twilight Princess 2, but I hated Twilight Princess. They streamlined a lot of the stuff that was wrong with the original Wind Waker, like the sailing, having to change the wind direction. I'll get into that later in the game, but they fixed it. And I definitely correctly identified the issue. The capture card was just running too hot. So that's fixed now. So this is a stealth segment, if you're not familiar with it, with Wind Waker, I mean. They basically fired me at this fortress out of a cannon, and I hit way up there, and my sword is up there, and I'm trying to go get it. And I missed one of the things. I hope it's not going to be a problem. Mario 3D World is probably, if that's the one you're referring to. 3D Land is pretty good, the one that was on 3DS, but Mario 3D World was fucking the best Mario game they ever made. Okay, well, you can actually sidle if you'd like. Good, so I did miss one, but it's not an important one. But yeah, I do also have 3D World, and I've been playing it, but I'm in the first 3 worlds there, and you know Mario games, the first few worlds are not difficult. So, yeah, 3D World is fucking fantastic. It was one of 2 reasons that I bought a Wii U again. And I mean, they're remaking it for Switch. I don't have a Switch anymore. I don't know where it is. But I had a Switch, and I was looking forward to the remake or the HD re-release of 3D World because the game is fucking fantastic. But I got impatient, and just getting a Wii U seemed to be the path of least resistance. It automatically reappeared. Oh, hey. Excuse me, sir. I'll take this. I really just want to unlock Rosalina in 3D World and get back to Champion Road and all of that because that was fun. Ah, yes, 3D Land. They made a sort of sequel to it that's heavily based on the second Mario Brothers, where you have characters you can select from. You can be Mario, Luigi, Toad, or Peach. And Peach has her little hover thing. Toad is faster, just like the original Mario Brothers 2. They also added Rosalina, who is very similar to Peach, except she doesn't have a float, and instead she has a spin attack. I've got to focus for a moment. They also added the cat suit, which is unique. Okay, I don't have to run from him yet. Well, that was relatively quick getting through the Forsaken Fortress. I'm used to it taking longer than that. Yep, he is dead as fuck. There have been several moments during this game where a cutscene would happen and my immediate reaction was, yep, he's fucking dead. Like, right there. Or when he was fired into the fucking castle, or when Tetra was dropped 500 feet into the woods. It's like, yep, she's dead. Yep, he's dead. But that's one of the advantages of the cartoon-style gameplay, is that they can do stuff like that and not have it feel out of place. But can you imagine the Twilight Princess Link or the Ocarina of Time Link smashing into a castle wall and falling down like that? It would be so out of place and so weird. But Yahtzee, who does the Zero Punctuation series, he's right about Wind Waker. This Link has character. He's a bit stupid, to be honest. Yeah, he is dull-witted and a bit careless. I'm not reading this because I already know what it's going to say. So I'm very happy to see that I've not lost video since I put the fan on the capture card, but I'm also concerned that the capture card is running so hot in the first place. Like, literally all it does is take input and send it to different places. It should not be running hot. It performs the same function as a network hub. It just takes a signal and sends it out. And yet it's running hot enough that it kept cutting my video to the television. God, he is long-winded as fuck, isn't he? Yeah, that's one of the best parts about this cartoonish look, I suppose. That and things like flames and stuff like that. And we'll really see this in the next dungeon because it's a volcano dungeon, but it allows them to be really creative with the lighting. You're the guy with the cell. What did he say to me? I guess Oh, I have to rescue Tingle. Shit. This is... It's where you start the game. It's where you get the cell, and after that, like, I don't know how to send the world map to the screen. That's one of the pitfalls of playing the Wii U without a classic controller. Yep. It's sort of like the first time you visit Market Castle in Ocarina of Time. But if you've never played Ocarina of Time, if the original Zelda, which by the way I love, and if you want to check it out, I completed the game without a sword like 2 years ago, and I've been trying to redo it. You can't actually complete the game without a sword. You can get to Ganon without a sword, but you have to have at least the wooden sword in order to kill him. So I picked up the wooden sword, and he was the only enemy that I used it on. Because it's either you get to Ganon and you consider the game completed, or you pick up the wooden sword and you only use it on Ganon. These swordless run people are divided on which of those is the most legitimate way to do it. I prefer actually completing the game. But anyway, it's sort of like, have you played A Link to the Past? Because it's very similar to Kakariko Village, in which this is where you go to actually get the game started. It's where you get all of the initial shit, the initial outlining of your general mission and what you need to do. Hi, Sophia. And that's generally what... I don't care about Tingle bottles, thank you. Can we get back to the game that I'm trying to play? I hate that about modern games. God damn do I hate that. All I want to do is fucking play a game, but no, they gotta hit me with tutorials and other dumb shit that I don't care about. Every time I start this fucking Wii U, it pops up like 12 different fucking things that I have to click next to. It's like, whatever happened to just turning on a fucking console and playing a goddamn game? If I wanted to deal with extraneous shit, I would just play my PC. That's the entire point of consoles. Ooh, my favorite game. It would be probably a three-way tie between the original Zelda, Dragon Age 2, and Final Fantasy VI. I gotta get 12 more rupees. That should be pretty easy to do. I say that, but I'm not sure where I can go here to actually get fucking rupees. There were none in that tree. Now these kids give me something if I play hide and seek with them. I don't want to do that right now. Thank you. I didn't even put on makeup today. I put on eyeliner today, but that was the extent of it, because these are my last 2 days of vacation. I didn't even do Free Talk Live today. I messaged Ian this morning. I was like, hey, look, I kind of don't want to do this tonight because I just squandered an entire 10 days of fucking vacation by working every single fucking day. And I just kind of want to relax. I wasn't that verbose about it, but that was the general message. Alright, so rolling into trees does not seem to be a way to acquire rupees in this game. got that blue rupee. Final Fantasy is an RPG, yes. My name, Aria de Mezzo, actually comes from the game Final Fantasy VI. It was the opera scene called, the song is called Aria de Mezzo Caratier, which is Aria of the middle character. I dropped the character from it, obviously. Wonderful. Well, I didn't want any more fucking rupees anyway. Now, where's that pot? Oh well, that gives me... God damn it. I just want that... Jesus, that was stupidly difficult. It's hard to recommend Final Fantasy if you don't have like 35 plus hours to spend investing in characters. But if you're going to play one, Final Fantasy VI would be the one of choice. Interesting. Give me 1 second while I think about that. Let me throw these on and see what it sounds like over here. I would, yeah, it's definitely only coming through the left. Hold on. Yeah, and when I ran into an issue Sunday night, I wasn't even streaming. I was just recording to test things out. My setup became so complicated that the only way for me to figure out where the breakdown was occurring was to actually draw out a fucking full-on diagram. And so now I'm trying to do that mentally while also in the middle of a stream. Everything should be stereo, but there's no doubt it's only coming through the left speaker. It's coming out mono. But the game audio is coming out of both, right? Of course, there's no fucking sound. No. The game is also only coming out of the left. Okay. That should have fixed that. Yes, that's much better. Okay, great. Thank you for letting me know. I can't do that because the microphone comes through the headphones as well. So that's weird. I didn't notice that when I was testing things out earlier.
All right.
Yeah, I was trying to climb in and you started talking to me. So on the question of whether to buy a PC or build a PC. Yeah, I didn't even know it was an issue. I assumed that, and then when I found that out that I was only coming through, I assumed it was an issue with the microphone or with the mixer board only sending out on one channel, which would have been a complicated thing to fix. But popping the headset on and learning that it was both the game and the video, the game and the microphone, that really simplified the troubleshooting. So, the question of building your own PC, that's what I would recommend doing if you know how to do it. I know how to do it. Of course, I also fucking fried a motherboard installing an M2 drive, and that cost me about $800 at the end of the day to fix. It wouldn't have cost me $800 if I hadn't been impatient, but I was. Wait, stop it! Ah. Alright, well, let's see what's over here. If you know how to build your own PC, you will get much better prices by doing that. And Newegg takes Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, so I would strongly recommend that. That's what I did, because Sunday night when I was fucking drawing out that stupid complicated diagram of everything that's going on here audio-wise, I realized that if I'm actually going to pursue this other project, I've not talked publicly about this other project yet. Now's a good time to, but I will get to that in a moment. Then I need a second computer, a second fully capable, powerful computer to actually function as a studio computer. Because right now, my gaming PC is doing both. It's the studio computer here and the gaming computer. So if I want to have someone over to record some music, it's the same computer that I'm fucking routing everything through right now. And that doubly complicates the experience. It's significantly better to have a second one. Plus, I can put the second one in an entirely different room.
Alright.
Newegg accepts Bitcoin Cash though, but you have to buy directly from Newegg. That's one of the filtering options. You know, Newegg, like eBay and Amazon, well, not eBay, because eBay's all third party, but Amazon has third party sellers and stuff like that. So does Newegg. You have to select Newegg sold and shipped by, or whatever the option is, in order to pay with Bitcoin or Bitcoin Cash. But I spent about $1,200 in total Sunday night, but I got two curved 24-inch monitors, a graphics card. It won't run, I mean, it would probably run modern games on like 1920 by 1080 at medium, maybe high settings. I've got 32 gigabytes of RAM and a Ryzen 5 CPU, so it's not a slouch, right? It's not a bad PC. But it did cost me about $1,200, and it did not include a motherboard because I already have a motherboard. It did include a case, though. Well, I'm torn on whether or not I like the curved screen. I use it to, it's got the vMix window, the Twitch chat, the DLive chat, it's got all of that on it. And it's eye level, which is nice. The television is not a curved screen, it's just a 65-inch flat screen, just an ordinary, that is not what I meant to do. Just an ordinary television, but it requires me to look up in order to use. Instant gaming is like with the Google service, whatever they're calling it, I don't remember now. But it's like where you're streaming the game from them rather than processing it yourself. Is that correct? If you have the bandwidth for it, that's probably the way to go. I mean, at the end of the day, I've spent probably $3,500 to $4,000 on my current setup. If you include the price of the Wii U, the price of the television, the price of the mixer, if you include everything, yeah, it's going to be between $3,000 and $4,000. That said, there's no way to stream a Wii U game. Okay, so that's not what you mean. Oh, I'm in love with 4K. That's one of the issues I have right now, is that all of the, like as I was talking about a minute ago, my PC is sort of the centerpiece of all of this. Everything goes through my PC. Even the Wii U, obviously, because of the capture card. And I don't remember what the fucking point of that was. Oh, yeah. So if I want to watch something on like Netflix or Hulu or Amazon Prime or whatever, it's in my better interest to use my PC because my PC does 4K. So does the television. But if I use one of the built-in apps, like the Hulu app on my television or the Netflix app on my television, it doesn't give me the option for 4K. It caps out at 1080. And to make matters worse, it doesn't go through my soundbar. That's been a weird adjustment for me because the last time I was, really investing in a system, surround sound was all the rage. I spent fucking $800 on badass speakers and a surround sound system. Now I'm like, it's almost impossible to find a surround sound system. It's all about the soundbar and the subwoofer, which is great. I've got no real complaints, but directional audio is super fucking important. Especially if you're playing a game like Resident Evil 2, where you kind of need to fucking know which direction an enemy is coming from. I have not seen Disclosure on Netflix. The only thing I've been watching lately, honestly, is Mythbusters. Once fucking Hulu added Mythbusters, that's pretty much all I've been watching. I did watch V for Vendetta last night, and I'm super frustrated with the fact that it's become this sort of libertarian anarchist ideal when this guy's a fucking monster. He's an abuse victim who fucking paid his abuse forward to Natalie Portman's character. It's a fucking terrible movie. It's 30 minutes longer than it had any right to be. The Natalie Portman shit should have been dropped entirely, and if they weren't going to drop it, they could have at least not fucking made her an abuse victim caused by V's being an abuse victim. It's fucking deplorable. It's disgusting, and I can't believe that people idolize V as some sort of hero. He's a fucking monster. I have not paid any attention to fucking any of this. Now, I seem to recall there's a minigame up here where I can make some rupees by sorting mail. Yes. This is not going to go well the first few times. Yeah, let's make some money. Well, that was not terrible. I don't open Twitter very often, so I don't know. But I still got 25, so not terrible. Yeah, I think he gets up to paying 2 rupees per letter, if I remember right. Shit. Dude, I pressed up. I swear I did. Well, I did get 25, so... 3 rupees per letter. Great. I'm just going to do this one more time because I know for a fact I need some rupees. Can I do it again? No, I cannot. Okay. That sucks. But I did make a pretty good amount of rupees. I gotta go find Prince, whatever his fucking name is. He's definitely not out here. Oh yes, I did see that. Is this the way out? Is this where that... Yeah. Okay, good. Now I just have to press A repeatedly, or I have to... There's a fucking... Alright. Alright, well that was not fucking... I should probably pay some amount of attention to this dialogue, considering the last time I fucking played through this was... How old is the Wii U? It's like 2010, right? 10 years ago? That's not the one I want. I think I need to go find that fucking girl, right? Okay. How did you hear about that, Sophia? I'm just curious. It wasn't even a 3-hour trip. Like, I took a private flight there because that's... You don't want to drive across several state borders with a lot of cash on you, because the chances of getting pulled over are too high. And if you get pulled over, the cops will confiscate whatever cash you have on you, and there's nothing you can do about it. I think this is for you. So yeah, I don't know what I expect you to do with that. I don't know why I handed you that. Here, you want that. LRN, or Ian rather, is watching on D Live. It's not a libertarian movie. You're correct. But the comics, he was an anarchist in the comics, as I understand it. I'm not even a comic book nerd, but the scene with Evie bothered me so much that I did not finish the movie. There's 35 minutes remaining on it, but after that, once she got out, and it was revealed that V was the one who had been, you know, fucking torturing her this entire time, I was done with it. Okay. I've not been paying attention to what they want me to do. I mean, I've got no room in my life to watch a movie that does that. I mean, instead of choosing love, instead of choosing to be a better person, V was like, hey, I was tortured, so that makes it okay for me to torture people. That's not the way it works. And I don't know if I'm right. No one has said yet whether or not I'm right in my prediction, but my suspicion is that the movie proceeds where she does not show up before the 5th of November. And he proceeds with his plan to do whatever it is he's planning. But he does it alone without her. He ends up getting into this situation where he's facing certain death, right? All hope is lost. And then she shows up and saves him. That's my prediction for how the rest of the movie plays out. No one has told me yet whether or not I'm correct. But that's what I expect. But, I mean, yeah, it was a character-destroying moment for me. Up until then, I was very much in support of him. But once he justified torturing this other human being, I was done. Okay, so I need the first floor instead of running around in circles. The entire movie would have been better if the sections with Evie had been dropped entirely. Is this the exit? If they had just dropped the Evie stuff entirely, it would have been better. It would have been about 35 to 40 minutes shorter, and it wouldn't have made V into a fucking torturing monster. And I would have finished the movie on time. So I think that would have been the way to go. I mean, I get why she was included. I do. Natalie Portman, she's fucking amazing. I like everything that she's ever been in, except for V for Vendetta. And the sort of romantic undercurrents, I don't think were necessary. Again, I get why they did it, because that's just the world we live in, where everyone expects some sort of romantic subplot. There has to be a girl, and she has to be hot, and she has to be... Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm sorry for throwing you right into a wall. I mean, I'm kind of not sorry, because it was pretty funny, but... I'm just waiting on the wind to go the right direction. He wrote the comic book, but Alan Moore evidently also did not approve of the film because all of the anarchist elements were removed from it. Unlike Natalie Portman in The Phantom Menace. I didn't like the movie. I mean, I did back then because I was like 6 years old. But it was a good movie for a 6-year-old. But anything with Natalie Portman in it is pretty much going to be a good movie because she's a great actress. She's got very powerful range. She's no Katie McGrath, but the only thing I've ever seen fucking Katie McGrath in was in the BBC series Merlin. And she was fucking incredible. Dude, her performance should have won her all kinds of fucking awards. She's probably my favorite, followed by either Keira Knightley or Natalie Portman. Yeah, I probably don't need to fucking throw a bomb directly in the water. That was too late. I have not seen The Americans, no. Oh. I was too busy running my mouth. There we go. Perfect. And now we can actually sort of get on with the game. Well, I say that. And then I have to fucking play basketball with bombs. Alright, so I need to actually get closer. Who designed this? I wish he would stop, like, rolling off the cliff. Right, this is gonna be tricky, then. Because it looks like I need to actually be on here in order to get that in. Yeah. And then I need to change the camera. God fucking damn it, seriously? It's like controlling a fucking out-of-control gorilla. Oh well, I got through it. That's all that matters. I mean, Americans love hating on some Russians. If the last 4 years have taught me anything, it's been that. For many Americans, it would seem the Cold War never fucking ended. Which is tragic. Because when you think in those terms, it dehumanizes the enemy. Right? Like, and I say the enemy, but I mean, that's the entire point. It dehumanizes people simply because they aren't a part of your culture, your nationality, your crazy us and them mentality. I feel like I'm probably going to need that. This should give me my key. Perfect. Alright, we are officially in Dragon Roost Cavern, so I'm gonna go have a quick smoke. And I'm gonna end the stream, obviously, because otherwise you're just sitting here looking at a blank screen with nothing happening. So I'm gonna go have a quick smoke and refill my glass of wine. I will be back probably about 11:05, so if you want to stay tuned, check back then.